Welcome back to Good Day Maine. In this morning's Transparency Tracker, a group digging into government spending is focusing on aid to Maine after those severe winter storms in December and January.
Adam Andrzejewski, the CEO and founder of Open the Books, joins us now live with a breakdown. And Adam, what did you find?
Well, the costs are getting a lot more expensive. So, Jeff, we last reported on this in February when federal funds through FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, were about $3 million worth of subsidy on those storms, the three winter storms. Well, that's now up by $10 million of extra money. The December storms are the most expensive since 2008 flooding. This doesn't even include the cost of the April storm. That'll be additional, and more applications are still being greenlit from the three winter storms.
Now that we're a few months removed from the storms, what can you tell us about the federal government's support for Maine's recovery efforts?
Well, it's been pretty substantial in regard to they greenlit for the first time since 2008 that flooding individual payments to households. And in Maine, there's been 5,000 households that have received federal funding. And so, this hasn't, like I said, happened since 2008. There's been over $11 million alone greenlit to households, which is an average of $2,300 per household. You can use the funds. If your home was severely damaged, you could use the funds for temporary housing assistance. But most people are getting the funds to actually repair their homes from the storm damage.
Well, the storms this winter were more severe than usual. How did the federal government take that into account?
So, look, if you take a look at where, what counties are receiving the most money, you've got Oxford County. They received the most. They've received about $3 million, households, families within Oxford County. You've got Cumberland County, obviously encompassing Portland, about $1.4 million. In York County, folks there have received $1.3 million. Now, look, in Oxford, it's pretty interesting. Only 508 households have received assistance. They've averaged $6,000 per household. One household actually received more than $50,000 alone for their repairs. You've had nearly $1 million, $800,000 go to households where their income actually exceeds $175,000. So these are just some interesting, it's an interesting perspective on how federal funds are coming in to repair storm damage.
These storms are a pretty small piece of FEMA's spending around the country, but have these expenses put any constraints on FEMA's budget?
Yeah, and this is something that homeowners in Maine and business owners need to know about. FEMA's under fiscal financial distress because of the pandemic. They represented to Congress that their pandemic emergency aid response, the subsidies they paid out would only be $18 billion, but they paid out $172 billion. So even last summer, Katie, FEMA had to temporarily pause payments because their funds were nearly gone. And so they've continued to greenlit pandemic payments, even though the pandemic has been over officially for a year and a half. So this could put major stress on payments into Maine, and it is something to monitor.
Adam Andrzejewski with Open the Books. So much for your time.
Thank you.